Can you believe it is the last week of 2024? Hey guys, this is Megan with You Go to Be Kidding, and this week I am just floored that we are at the end of another year. And so I wanted to kind of just go over this last year on our homestead with you, and just a recap of 2024 and all the things that have been going on. And in some ways it feels like some of the memories I'm about to share happened forever ago, and others of them feel like they just happened. It's always fascinating how the years go. But here's our goats. They're all hanging out. These are all the ladies, the 5 moms and the 5 babies that we kept. And yeah, let's get into it. Last year, 2024, the first thing that happened for us is our lambing season. And so our most dramatic birth was one of our mamas tried to give birth to 2 of her lambs at the same time. You see hooves coming out of the second, or coming out for the second lamb while the first one is still coming. So I have some footage of that, and then we'll just kind of walk through all the different stuff that happened this year. I hope you enjoyed. It was a lot of fun. It's always great to look back, and we appreciate you. Yeah, I'm sitting. Okay, so I'm getting a little concerned. I see lots of hooves all at the same time. So I think I'm I don't know, I'm not sure what I would do.
Oh, look, I can see 4 hooves. There's a black.
I can see 3 for sure.
There's a black box.
How interesting. She's making progress. So, I mean, I'm going to leave her be. It's only been a couple minutes, but
She's pushing 2 at the same time.
this is where I don't know what. This is where my inexperience shows. She's actually pushing. And I'm going to hand you the camera. We'll get that. Yeah, the first one. And maybe first one seems huge and really dark. I don't know if she'll let me even get near her. But I am going to go try to get the first baby out of there. She might get baby out all on her own. Oh, mama. This one's coming backwards, and I think I'll let her push. You go, baby. Oh, goodness. That's a boy.
She's only thrown boy.
Go get mama. She has had all boys, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got some blood. I think I might help. Come on, mama. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. There we go. There's a blue bulb syringe in that box. Esther, do you think you can find it? That's a little boy too. Shortly after those lambs were born, we had to tackle a project we had been putting off all winter. We had been raising sheep for a few years, and we had 3 ram lambs that were ready to be harvested. They were between 1 and 2 years old, and it was time for it to get done. So we had been pretty intimidated. We'd been putting it off, but we harvested all 3. It went really well. We got meat in the freezer, and it was so cool to learn a new skill and tackle that, check that off of the box that we are capable of harvesting a larger animal and getting that meat provided for our family. the next exciting thing to happen was our goat births. And actually Miss Tansy right here was the star of the show this year. She gave birth to quintuplets, which was mind-boggling. Oh my goodness gracious. There are 5 baby goats. I don't even know what to do with 5 baby goats. The hardest thing that happened this year was right after birthing season. We lost our very first lamb and our very first goat kid, and that was tough. We lost the lamb to getting cold. The rainstorm, we have a video about that I will link. And it was just totally unexpected. It seems so obvious in hindsight, but the weather didn't seem that cold to me, and I just miscalculated how cold a little lamb would be. And then right after that, we lost our first goat kid. She was actually born with a birth defect. And again, I have a video all about it. I will share that, share the link. And so she had to be put down just hours after she was born. But the cool thing in all of that is that because of the lamb being lost, I was able to discover the birth defect on the goat kid, and I wouldn't have, if we had not lost that lamb, I would have never thought to check. I don't normally take temperatures of lambs. They're normally fine as long as they're healthy and their moms are taking care of them. I've never had to worry about it. So anyway, this was just a really great example of bad things happening but being an incredibly valuable lesson. And so we were able to take care of the goat before she suffered. Before she had lived for a while. Her defect absolutely would have killed her, and so she would have suffered pretty terribly, and she didn't because we found it right away. So I'm thankful for the lesson, but losses are always tough on the farm. Once kidding season is over, we are solidly into garden season, and so I started planting things out. Our garden this year did pretty well, and I was happy about it, but I do always love getting back in the garden in spring. It is one of the most fun times of the year. Just get my hands in the dirt again. The weather's starting to warm up. Stuff is coming back to life and greening up around here. And it's just a great time. So spring is lots of fun. Plants in the ground. Always a good time. This season we milked 5 mama goats, which is just super awesome. That is the most I have ever done. I've only ever done 3 before. We had 5 this season, but unfortunately we really struggled with milk quality. I was getting some really off tastes, and some of them, Tansy's in particular, was going bad really quickly. And so that led us to implementing a goat mineral buffet. And so we've got our minerals on demand, and that seems to have helped a ton. Their coats look great. Ivy is black, is deep, and doesn't have the red in it. They are shiny. They have been super healthy since we introduced the mineral buffet, and the flavor of our milk has changed. It is absolutely wonderful. So I am really looking forward to the 2025 milking season. Unfortunately, we got it kind of all fixed as the ladies were tapering off and just kind of going out, so I didn't have enough to make cheese or anything like that. But I'm looking forward to 2025. I will have 5 mamas give birth again, and then I did retain 5 doelings, and so that would be 2026, looking at 10 milking mamas, which sounds insane, but I think it will be awesome. I'm excited for the growth in our goats. We absolutely love them. So shortly after lambing and kidding season was over, we decided to go ahead and get rid of all of our sheep. The goat's personality is so much more fun. The milk is a much more important staple on our farm than the lamb was. And so we decided to get rid of them. We were spreading ourselves too thin trying to move around all these groups of animals. And I'm so thankful we got rid of them in June. And over the past 6 months, I have been so grateful to not have that extra group of animals to worry about. It has been such a blessing to have made that decision to scale back. It's let us really enjoy our other animals and have some rest. The summer did not feel hectic. It didn't feel crazy at all. I am so thankful that that we chose to get rid of the sheep. Another part of our summer was that we ran meat chickens. This is our 4th year doing it, and I feel like this year went really well. We did 3 batches of 80, and I think we've decided that 80 was too much. One of those batches we actually ended up doing entirely on our own, just our family. It was super cool to accomplish that as a family. We worked together well. It was a great day, but that number makes us a little uneasy to have to do on our own, and we do want to be in a situation where we can do it on our own without any issues. We often invite people to come. We teach people how to do it all the time, and I love that, but there's not always somebody that wants to come. So this year we're going to do batches of 60, pull that number back down a little bit, make that much easier. Absolutely no problem if our family has to do that on our own. And yeah, the chickens went great. I love having that meat supplied for our family. These tractors back here make that possible, and I'm thankful to have that done. Chickens at this point are just a standard, and I am so appreciative that we kind of have that system worked out. It goes well, and all has been well. This year went great. The animals we probably love the most on the farm are definitely the dog, River, and our cats, and they have done excellent this year. This year in 2024, River turned 2 way back in March, and we have some videos about her, of course. And the biggest thing that happened is that she was able to get out on a spot-on GPS collar, and that has kept her guarding our property, guarding our animals, and able to stay out and across the whole property, and that has been so fun. She has done a great job. We have so appreciated having her out. She has caught herself several possums, although I don't think she's successfully killed one, because they do play dead when she catches them. They're all gone in the morning, and she's not consuming them. So I'm glad that she is chasing them off, and she is doing a great job. She gets along great with our kittens, and we ended up having 2 litters of kittens. We found them all awesome barn homes, and we have a few that we are keeping on farm. So we have Buster and 2 new ones. Let's see, what are their names? Oh, the little ones are going to be Trogdor. We are internet junkies from 20 years ago, and the other one's name is Rocky. So Rocky and Trogdor are super cute additions to our cat farm. We're joking, we're now farming cats, but Mama Cat is spayed and we are done with that now. The saddest news is that our orange cat, his name is DC, but we ended up calling him, Fuzzy Ruzzy. I don't know. We name our animals whatever we want, I guess. Shortly after our first litter of kittens was born, he disappeared, and he was a super loving, super friendly cat. I don't think he wandered away and left. I think he was lost to probably some predator, and that was super hard. It's really hard with cats. What are you doing back there, girl? It's really hard with cats because, man, he was a really cool cat. He absolutely stuck with us. He was super friendly, and you just don't know when the last day is going to be. And so one day he was there, and, we didn't make much of it. It was just a normal day. And then one day he wasn't, and we haven't seen him since. And that's heartbreaking, but having the kittens around has kind of helped fill that hole a little bit. And it's at the very least helped fill the need for mousers. And so we're appreciative of the cats. But that's always a sad day to lose him. He absolutely is our favorite. He was the first and the best cat around. And so we're sad to see him go. So the last thing that I wanted to recap for the year was just the garden and the produce, and we had a great year. Some things didn't grow. Our cucumbers failed even though I tried 3 times, but our tomatoes did great. Our peppers were a little late in going, but they came by the end. We actually ended up with a pretty decent harvest of bell peppers and a ton of jalapenos. The zinnias, they came up. I had volunteered zinnias all over the garden this year, and that was absolutely beautiful. I so enjoyed the flowers. I do want to try to contain them slightly better, but they did great. We planted a second batch of potatoes and green beans, and so we really kind of had the garden flush out for us in the fall, like late in the season. Well, if nothing else, the main garden is growing flowers extremely well. This is really exciting. Weeds are definitely my nemesis this year, but I'm seeing some really tall bell peppers. This is a plant here. I'm curious if there's any fruit on it. And that's kind of been the story this year. I'm not getting a lot of peppers so far. There are plants all in here. Pepper, some Swiss chard, which is shockingly doing really well. And some things down in the line. But the zinnias are beautiful and I'm enjoying them even if the peppers aren't coming. Ooh, look what I found. Peppers. And I see some down here. Oh, there they are. Bell peppers. All right, I'm excited about this because we have only gotten a handful so far. And so I'm really excited to see these bell peppers. These are orange Kellogg breakfast tomatoes. And I'm so excited to see new ones coming up. So we kind of have a lull. It feels like we harvested a bunch and now we're really waiting for more to ripen. We have a lot of these. I think they were currant. Oop, I dropped one. I don't remember what they're called. They're fun, but they're really obnoxious to pick. Nobody wants to help pick 1,000 tomatoes. So I don't think I'll be doing as many next year. I've got some open space. I think I'm actually going to come and try green beans in here again. But I've got some tomatoes. And then this is supposed to be a potato patch. Oh, but there are ground cherries in here. I see volunteer tomatoes in here. And I don't know that I see any potato greenery in here anymore. So I might come actually weed whack this and then try to harvest potatoes. I had tried to pull some weeds from this side. I had attempted to tarp over some things that clearly worked well. Here's actually a ground cherry. Oh, there's a little sign of potato. This right here. Potato, this is weeds. But I'm gonna have to come in here. I'll bet some of these actually grew all right. But obviously this section was just a hot mess. But the tomatoes are there. I do have all these carrot seeds. So these have progressed over the year. These look nice and dried out. See if I can get it to focus on a head here. There we go. So all of these in here are carrot seeds. There we go. So I will be looking for a place to spread these probably in a few weeks. Okay. All right, so here is my basket of goodies. These are some really decently sized potatoes. That is my hand. This is awesome. We don't have a ton of them. There are definitely more hiding underneath. And then some really great carrots too. More of them are normal shaped. We often get, this one's a little crooked, but we often get really short stubby ones. I don't see any at the moment, but most of these actually grew pretty long and are pretty big. These are awesome. We've never had carrots like this. And that honestly was perfect timing to help me preserve things better. We used our freeze dryer all year and just got better at using that and coming up with things for it to do. And I also canned a bunch of stuff kind of just recently. I feel like in the last few months is when I did a bunch of canning. I was able to process some bulk apples we got. I canned apple pie filling. I'm getting more comfortable using my pressure canner. I've canned beans and turkey broth from our Thanksgiving turkey. Just all sorts of things that I'm feeling more comfortable doing. We were able to get a great carrot harvest and I canned up some dilly carrots. And it's just been awesome to feel like I actually preserved the food we grew well. That has been one of my biggest shortcomings. I felt like we did a decent job growing stuff and then it would get wasted or just thrown to the chickens when it had gone past its prime because I didn't know what to do with it or didn't know how to do it quick enough or well enough. And this year I feel like I really grew in that area. And so that was a really awesome point of growth. That was something I was hoping to do better at. And I feel like I did. Now I still have a long way to go. I definitely am not an expert, but I am thankful for just that diligence in doing better than I did last year. Alrighty, well that wraps up 2024. We had an awesome year here on the homestead. We are thankful for all the lessons we've learned and all the opportunities we've had. It's been a great year. It's great to be in a season of rest. I love winter when things wind down and we can just rest and relax and kind of reset systems, start dreaming about the next year. And so it's always good to kind of look back and learn from what happened. And so I always appreciate a video like this to just kind of look back and see what happened and what I learned. And we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you have had a wonderful year and that you are looking forward to the next. And yeah, we'll see you next week. It'll be 2025.